Hey gang, this week we're going to do Revival by request, at least an intro to the great Allman Brothers song. I don't know what it is, but lately I've really been hooked on those 2 and 3 part guitar parts, and the harmonies that the Allman Brothers did were just, I think, really neat. This one's got one of the better ones, I think, one of the more interesting ones, put it that way. Anyway, we're going to go through all of them. We're going to go through the acoustic guitar part, we'll go through the top part of the lead, and the bottom part of the lead, okay? So we'll do them all coming right up. Hey, as always, if you like this, go ahead and click the like button, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe for one of these, or maybe 2, every week. See you in just a second. All right, gang, let's go over this note for note. First things first, you want to download the tab from the link in the description below. It's going to make your life a lot easier. I'm also going to do the video in the order that I've got marked on the tab. So this will be guitar 1, the acoustic part. Guitar 2 will be the high lead part. I played that on a Les Paul. And guitar 3, which I played on my Melody Maker, is the low lead part. Okay, and I'll stay consistent by using those guitars in the video. So let's go over the acoustic part first. What I'm going to do is play the whole thing kind of a little bit slow, and then we'll go through it part by part. So here it is. All right, so it's actually pretty simple. It's really just a strumming pattern that's it's a little bit hard to get in your, I find it hard to get in my brain. So let's go over the first part first, and that's got 3 chords, an A chord, a D with a A in the bass, and an E. You don't usually play that, I don't usually play that 6th string. All right. I'm only playing primarily on the strings 5, 4, 3, and 2. All right, so the first part, that A, pretty straightforward. I'm just barring with that A with my first finger across that. You all know an A chord, and I've got it in the tab. If you don't know it, now you do, okay? Okay, the second one is maybe a bit of a new chord to some of you. It's a D with an A in the bass. And this is really kind of a sweet sounding chord, I think. This D right here, I'm just playing on the 4, 3, and 2 strings at the moment, is basically just it's an inversion with the 3rd in the bass, and it sounds really kind of mellow. You add that A in the bottom, it sounds really Keith Richardish. Another guy who uses this all the time, if you're a fan of Tony Rice, he uses this chord all the time. And it is kind of a mellow D sound. Anyway, the way it is we're playing the 5th string open, which is an A. The 4th string, which is an F sharp, that's the 3rd of the chord, is played on 4th string 4th fret. 3rd string 2nd fret is an A, and on the 2nd string is the D, which is the root. Okay, now you can either finger it like this, with a bar chord, or like this, which is what I prefer, not using a bar, because that way I can get my fingers in there, I can articulate it, sounds a little bit cleaner. All right, so that's the part, that's the first part. That last one is an E. Okay, and that whole thing goes twice. All right, now in the part where the lead is going, that is simply going between an A and a D, like so. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward. Just uses those same chords. It's an A, D, D with that A bass again. The only thing is to keep thwacking, right? Just to keep that beat. All right. Here's the last part we want to do. All right. Pretty straightforward, I think. Here's a B minor, C major. Now we're going to play a series of power chords. B, C, D and E. And now I'm playing an A minor and an E. All right, now technically I've got it written out as an A minor, but I think if you just play the bottom 3 strings, it's just a power chord anyway. And it sounds fine. All right, so here it is contiguously. All right, and that is the acoustic piece. Okay, now let's do the higher of the 2 lead lines. This plays a lot between the minor and the major pentatonic in A, and it's played out of this A minor pentatonic position that we all know and love right here. Okay, so here are the 2 lines we're going to start out with. Okay, pretty straightforward stuff. We're going to start out here on the 3rd string on the 7th fret and do our normal pull-off on an A minor pentatonic. Land on the 4th string, 7th fret. Now here we're going to skip a string, and we're going to play on the 2nd string, we're going to play 5, 8, then 8 slide up to 10. So here's the whole line. Notice I'm giving it a little bit of vibrato so that it helps sustain it. Here's that line part 2. You'll see it's almost identical. And now instead of sliding up, we're going to play here, which is that minor major thing going on right there. Okay, so we're starting out on the 3rd string, 5th fret, and sliding up to, or you can hammer on, either one's fine, to the 6th. Okay, 5th to 6th. Okay, so you do both those lines twice. Okay, and now you play this. Okay, so that starts out on the 1st string, 5th fret, 2 of those, 2nd string, 8th. Okay, then that's 6th and 5. And that's it. And it just repeats those other lines. Okay, gang, here's the last of the 3, second of the lead lines, and I've listed it as guitar 3. It's going to be very similar, except think about playing this a very similar sort of thing, but dropping it down a string. So we're going to drop basically from a lick that's on the 3rd fret, starts on the 3rd fret, to a lick that starts on the 2nd fret. So here we go. Here are the first 2 lines. Okay, very, very similar. So we're starting out on the 4th string, 7th fret, pulling off to the 5th as we would in a minor pentatonic, landing on the 5th string, 7th fret. Again, we're skipping a string. This time that gives us from the 5th to the 3rd, and we're playing 5, 7, and then hitting 7 and sliding up to 9. And that harmonizes with this 10th up here. Right? That's what that sounds like. Okay, second time we play almost the same thing. And in this time we slide it down to the 4th string, 7th fret. Okay? So here's both lines put together. Okay, we do that twice, just like we did with the other. And now we play. Okay, that starts on 3rd string 9th, goes to the 7th, and then 7th to 5. 4, 5, 7, 9, and then we go to the 4th string 7th fret and 5th string 7th fret. Really genius when you put that one together. Sounds awesome. All right. Well, there you have it, folks. The Allman Brothers, Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3 did all the guitar parts and are all beauties. Okay, hope you enjoyed this one, and it's not really that hard to do, but it certainly is satisfying, I think, to learn all those together. All right, until next time, we'll see you on down the road.